Suppose that every day 10 men go out for dinner. The bill for all men comes at 100. If they pay their bill the way we pay our taxes, it would go something like this.
The first 4 men, the poorest would pay nothing, the fifth would pay $1, the sixth would pay $3, the seventh $7, the eighth $12, the ninth $18, and the 10th man, the richest, would pay $59.
That's what they decided to do. The 10 men ate dinner in the restaurant every day and seemed quite happy with the arrangement, until one day the owner threw them a curve. He said, "I'm going to reduce the cost of your daily meal by $20. So now dinner for the 10 only costs $80. The group still wanted to pay their bill the way we pay our taxes, so the first 4 men were unaffected. They would still eat for free. But what about the other 6, the paying customers? How could they divide up the $20 windfall so that everyone would get their fair share? The 6 men realized that $20 divided by 6 is $3.33. But if they subtracted that for everybody's share, then the 5th man and the 6th man would end up being paid to eat their meal. So the restaurant owner suggested that it would be fair to reduce each man's bill by roughly the same amount, and he proceeded to work out the amounts each should pay. And so the 5th man paid nothing, the 6th pitched in $2, the 7th paid $5, the 8th paid $9, and 9th paid $12, leaving the 10th man with the bill of $52 instead of his earlier $59. Each of the 6 was better off than before, and the first 4 continued to eat for free. But once outside the restaurant, the men began to compare their savings. "I only got $1 out of the 20, declared the 6th man, who pointed to the 10th, but he got $7. "That's right," exclaimed the 5th man. "I only saved $1 too. It's unfair that he got 7 times more than me." "That's true," shouted the 7th man. "Why shouldn't he get $7 back when I only got $2? The wealthy gets all the breaks." "Wait a minute," yelled the first 4 men in unison. "We didn't get anything at all. The system exploits the poor." The 9 men surrounded the 10th and beat him up. The next night, he didn't show up for dinner, so the 9 sat down and ate without him. But when it came down to pay the bills, they discovered a little late what was very important. They were $52 short of paying the bill. Imagine that.
That, boys and girls, is how the tax system works. The people who pay the highest taxes get the most benefit of the tax reduction. Tax them too, attack them for being wealthy, and they just may not show up at the table no more. Where would that leave the rest? Unfortunately, most taxing authorities anywhere cannot seem to grasp this rather straightforward logic. Step 1. Find out if you need to file. First, if you need help determining whether you're required to file a federal tax income this year, you can use the IRS's online interactive tax assistant. Step 2. Gather Social Security numbers. The first bit of information you need to prepare any tax return is your Social Security card, the 9-digit number of information that follows you around for your whole life. Also, some credits such as the Child and Dependent Care Credit, such as SNNs or other ID numbers in order to claim. Step 3. Determining your filing status. Your filing status is based on what your marital status was depending on what year you're filing your taxes. And it applies to all the taxes of that year. There are 5 possibilities: single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, qualified voter with dependent child. The laws of the state where you lived on the year you're putting your taxes determine whether you are married or legally separated. If you legitimately fit into one or more categories, pick the one that requires you to pay the least amount of taxes. Step 4. Review your previous year returns. Pull out your federal and state tax returns from the previous year. The information will help you start your new tax return. Because the sum of your entries will be the same, other entries will promote you for missing information or forms you need to collect. Also, you might find you need to make changes if you had important life events that happened in the previous year. That includes like getting married, divorce, having a child, and going to school or job changes. Step 5. Gather your documents. Starting the process of preparing your tax returns might seem overwhelming. The first step is to gather all the data that applies to your situation. For income information, you'll need the forms you received from your employer and bank, which include some of the following forms: wages, interest, dependents, investment sales, brokerage, combined tax statements, distributions, MLP partnership or S-corp share of income, social security benefits, unemployment benefits, and state tax returns, gambling wins, and forgiven debt. Step 6. Don't make simple mistakes. dollar amount on your return, whether you prepare the tax return yourself, use a human preparer, or use an online service. Double, then triple click your input figures. Unscrumptious people might call you pretending they are the IRS employees and demanding that you pay taxes you owe. Don't give them any personal information, instead hang up the phone immediately. The IRS will never call to demand immediate payment, nor will the IRS call about taxes owed without first having mailed you a bill. Demand that you pay taxes without giving you the opportunity to question or appeal the amount they say you owe. Require you to use a specific payment method for your taxes, such as prepaid debit cards. Step 8. Report all your income. When it comes to reporting your income, be honest. Report every penny of income. It doesn't matter that a tax form wasn't issued if you earned money, either income from a bank account or working for cash on the side. It is all taxable income. Don't overlook non-wages income. You might or might not get an official tax statement for this. Regardless, it's taxable. This includes tips you received as part of your job. Yes, these gratitudes are taxable income. Step 9. File your federal tax return for free. The IRS offers free file to file your federal taxes without paying any fees. The version you can depend on the amount of your adjusted gross income. If it's $62,000 or less, you can use the available free filing software. If your gross income is higher, the IRS provides free file fillable forms that are the electronic version of its paper forms. Step 10. Know the deadline to file. Usually your income tax return has to be postmarked on April 15th. However, the due date for your year that you are filing is April 18, 2017. Because of the Emancipation Day holiday is in the District of Columbia, even if you are not a District of Columbia resident, you also get an extra day if you live in Maine. Your deadline to file is April 19, 2017 due to the Patriots Day holiday, and your taxes will go to health, Social Security, net internet, national dentist, Medicare, and income security.